Hi and welcome to the Punting Form website. Today I'm going to talk about our form guide product and run through the features that we have available. All meetings for Australia, New Zealand, Singapore and Hong Kong are available at acceptance level, and generally acceptances for a weekend meeting will come through on Wednesday morning. Let's have a look at Warrnambool today. So on the race page, you'll see a live feed of the scratchings. We'll go into race 8. Have a look at the actual form guide. So one of the first things you notice is that at Punting Form, the information for the race is available on the same screen at once, so you don't have to navigate away to different pages to compare horses' form against each other. In the field listing, we have live odds feeds. There's no fixed odds available for Warrnambool today yet, but as they become available, they will be visible here. It quickly enables you to pick out best prices and place your bets. For pro members, every horse has the last 10 runs available on the form guide page. If you want to see the full horse history, our database dates back to 2005, so you can go to the Midnight Rebel page. You'll see his full horse history there, every run from his career, and any acceptances. Of course, he has one there. It's just one click to get back to the form. Let's have a look at some of the fields. Some of the fields are truncated and not fully visible, but with a mouse over you can see the full contents of the field. So a good example of that is the other runners. You can see all in the one view who the place getters were for each of these runs. Also with the race names, sometimes these can be quite long, so for conserving space they are truncated. Some of the options that you have available in the form guide, track conditions can be color coded. So this where we can see that the majority of Clangster's Aces runs have been on good tracks recently. We can also remove spell lines, which enable you to sort of tell or easily highlight the preparation of a horse. You can add let-ups and freshens if that's your thing as well. So I generally prefer to read my form with just the spells showing and without any color coding of the tracks. Another really key feature is our form links feature. So we can see that Royal Riley here has 2 form links. So if I expand that table out, we can see other horses that Royal Riley's raced against that are also racing in this race, and we can compare the changes in weight and the betting. That was really handy to sort of have that available at a glance as well, and I think this is where the real power of using an online form product comes into play over the traditional paper-based mechanisms. Another couple of cool interactive features that we have. You can make a note against any horse run. So I'll make a note here. Now this note will always be available to me as long as I'm logged in, and I can build up a backlog of notes to make my form preparation easier in the future. To view a note, you just hold the mouse over and you can edit that at any point, and we'll make the updates. Some other interesting piece of information here. We have stewards reports and gear change information available, and in addition to that we have a number of filters. So I think at Warrnambool today it's a heavy 9, so if we only want to see heavy and slow form from Warrnambool, that might actually narrow it down a bit too much. We'll just go with heavy and slow. I can apply that filter and the page will rebuild to show only runs that meet the criteria. So here for Midnight Revel, the only runs that we're seeing are his 10 most recent heavy and slow track runs. Now, regardless of whether there weren't any runs between spells, the spell lines will still display if you have that option on. So if you're using filters, it might make the form a bit more readable to remove showing spells. Okay, so in essence that's the form guide. We're adding new features all the time. We have an interactive speed map that's going to come online within the next couple of weeks in time for the spring, so we're pretty excited about that. One other thing I'll talk about is a workflow that I really like for making my notes and doing my review after a meeting. So we'll have a look, go and have a look at a meeting from last weekend. So if I want to review Morphettville, this is a workflow that I find really handy. I will come in here when the race is still fresh in my mind. I can make my notes on how the race panned out. I'll generally go through each of the runners, making my comments on this screen. And then that information is available to me the next time those horses run. So if I was to go to the Streaky Fella database page, the notes that I've made are here. They're always going to be available to me. So that's the Punting Form guide product. Another thing that I'll point out just before I end this demo is a feedback button. A little button over there. If you've got any ideas or comments, we're always open to hearing them, and you know, we've already implemented a number of features based on user feedback, so feel free to drop us a line here, and if you do that and you've got a good idea, no doubt you'll end up getting something free. Enjoy Punting Form. Until next time.